Welcome to the Wild Type Podcast. I'm Lyssa's Lizards.
I'm Neptune and Chameleon.
And we're your Reptile Girlies. Welcome back.
Welcome.
Because you've kind of been gone.
Yeah.
Briefly.
A long weekend.
Yeah, long weekend. But tell us about your trip.
I went to a wedding.
We love weddings. We love.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one was special because it was my college roommate's wedding.
Oh.
You know that friend? Okay, so like she dated someone in college.
Yes.
Right? And that's like when we met and that's the chapter of life we know each other.
Yeah.
They broke up. Then she
Oh.
met this guy, like, we'll could just call it adulthood,
Yeah.
right? And it's so fun to watch one of your favorite people, like, find their person, especially since you witnessed them in a relationship with what ended up not being their person, but, like, could have been their person in, like, a different universe or something, you know? So it was just really special. Like, I had met him before. He was wonderful. It was beautiful. It was in Montana.
Lovely.
Truly stunning. Like,
I'm super jealous.
perfect weather.
I would have really liked to see Montana. That's on my list.
Okay. Bozeman specifically is where we went, and I highly recommend you go.
I've heard great things about Bozeman. Tell me your reasons.
One, there was a crystal shop. That was the sickest crystal shop I have ever seen.
You know me.
Ever seen. And
That's
like
impressive.
they had this whole display of towers, which I know is your favorite.
I love towers.
And I was like, I don't know which one do you like. Like, and you have certain ones that you
I'm
know.
very picky.
And I'm like, no, I can't get one for her because I'm like, there were too many to choose from. There's
for sure. Yeah.
There's no way. But there's this one display that was like these crystal wings that were $95,000.
What? What?
Then they had these
I
like
thought you were gonna stop at 95.
$95. No, it had a little like you know, like the red velvet, you know, kind of like barricade thing. That's what
It was
I
like,
was like, you break, you buy.
maximum security. Do not touch.
And they had these like massive like 7-foot towers.
Oh, wow.
That were like $10,000.
Dang.
Like there's like millions of dollars worth of crystals in this.
Okay, I need to go
It
there.
was literally insane.
Because I've like hit up all the crystal shops in our local area and
Nope.
like I'm tapped out.
Nope. This is next level. Next level. But it was a lot of fun. It was like westerny vibes. People were like actually wearing cowboy hats and cowboy boots and like their belt buckles, which was cool.
Did you go on any hikes or do anything like that?
I did.
Okay.
So I went with my boyfriend.
Oh, he was the plus one.
Which I've never had a plus one for a wedding. No.
Oh my God, I didn't realize
No.
that.
I've gone solo to
that's so
every single wedding.
crazy.
So that was really special to like
Yeah.
share that with a person.
For sure.
And so we got in Thursday, did like downtown Bozeman, like all the shops
You
and
gotta
everything.
do, no matter where you go, like if you're in an area that has like a downtown, I feel like you gotta do like half a day.
And that's like low key, right? Like really good for traveling.
Just like walk around, get lunch, get breakfast, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the wedding was Friday evening, so I'm like, hey, what's something we can do during the day? And so we ended up doing this like waterfall hike thing, which was really nice, and a quick like 2 hours, you know, round trip type of thing.
Yeah.
So that was like enough time to get back and get ready for the wedding. And then Saturday we did Big Sky, the resort.
Yeah.
That was sick.
I've heard great things about
That's
that.
like an hour from Bozeman. So
Oh,
like,
that's so cool.
and I went zip lining.
Yay!
Which
How
made
did
me
you
think
feel?
of you, 'cause
How
you
did you
your
feel?
Colorado. Okay.
Because I know you said you were like nervous about the one I did.
Not gonna lie, when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's what, like,
Yeah.
whatever. Then we got to so it was
big
4
part?
zip lines.
Okay.
And you just, like, kind of went around. And I was like, oh.
Oh.
And, like, the zip line, you know, one of the,
Yeah.
I don't know, instructors, like,
The
guides. Thank you.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, I'll meet you on the other side. Because there's, like, 2 of them. And you just see him get smaller and smaller. And you're like,
and it makes that noise. It's like,
yes. And they're like, so don't really like hang on to it.
No.
You want to like sit into it.
Yeah.
Because if you hang on to it, then it kind of like pops and like will lock into, like we'll make a locking sound. And they're like, it's fine. It's just going to freak you out because of the noise it makes. I was like, well, I don't want that to happen.
I don't want to make the noise.
So I'm like, okay, I got to make sure I sit in my harness. And then, but after the first one we were chilling.
Yeah.
But because I have an Apple Watch, I could like, well, one, I can feel my heart rate's like
for sure. Yeah.
high.
Of course.
And then I looked and it was like 100. I was like, this is fine.
Like, everything's fine. We're not on fire.
The first one, it was good. The next 3 were like
easy.
A ton of fun.
Yeah.
But the options were like without like doing some strenuous hike, the options were like go up the ski lift or do like a zip line. I was like, well, I feel like the zip line would be
way cooler.
Yeah.
Way cooler. The ski lift, you're just chilling.
Yeah. Which
Hardcore
I'm all for
chilling.
taking in the
scenery.
views.
Yeah. Oh, I love a ski lift. Not complaining. I love a ski lift. But ski lift, zip line.
Yeah.
Zip line weighs higher. It's a lot higher, right?
That's what I'm thinking. So that's what we did. And then we came back Sunday and here we are podcasting. But yeah, it was a great trip.
Good.
Had a lot of fun. I just feel like weddings are just like so fun. And they're also very interesting when you're dating someone. Because you're like, am I going to marry this person?
Oh, yeah.
What do you like about the wedding?
Yeah.
What did you not like about the wedding? Like you're looking
what were your thoughts on how the ceremony went? What were your thoughts on the reception? What would you do differently?
Yes.
And then you just sit back and listen.
So I'm like,
do your thoughts align with my thoughts? I don't know.
Interesting. No, it was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
The wedding was stunning.
Tell me about the wedding. Like, what were the colors? What were the
it was like
what was the vibe?
Like kind of autumn colors.
I love autumn colors.
So it was like kind of like the burnt orange, burgundy, dark green, but then
that's beautiful.
But it's still like late summertime.
Right.
So it like paired really well. And then all the tables were national parks because that's like really pertinent to like the couple.
That's super cute.
So like, it's like, oh, you're sitting at Yosemite or oh, you're sitting at, whatever.
Oh, I love that.
So that was cute. They had a DJ which like played like all early 2000s type music.
You gotta do that.
Open bar, buffet dinner. Huckleberry is like the berry for Bozeman. Like,
I didn't know that.
Everything was huckleberry.
I mean, I love the idea of huckleberry. Like, that sounds really cool and unique. So I just didn't know that was a thing.
The cheesecake had like a little huckleberry on it. At the bar, they had like a huckleberry, whatever. So yeah, and it was like very simple decor, but I felt like it was in this beautiful hotel.
I was going to say it's also like in such a beautiful place.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was nice because the decor was just an accent.
Yes.
It wasn't like detracting from the venue and everything else.
I mean, that was one of the reasons we picked our venue was because I was like, okay, the outdoor area is beautiful. We don't have to do much.
Yeah, it was very similar decor to you where they just did like a little bit of candles, small flowers, and like colored vases. And like that was kind of the vibe. Dance floor was popping. They did their own vows, which are cute. I love
when they do their own vows. Yeah. That makes me so happy.
Bridesmaids were in the same color, but like different style. They all got to like kind of like pick their own dresses. Everyone was in like Western attire. So it was just a great time. And I do think it's like special to go with someone that you're
together dating. Yeah, absolutely. And not to mention, because I feel like there's a couple different levels of like, there's just going to a wedding in general, right? Like a local wedding that you can like drive to. But like when it's like a travel wedding too, it's like that's a whole other experience. So that's so fun.
Yeah. So had a great time. But that meant while I was out, you were on
baby duty.
Yeah.
And I did film a couple videos. I just have to edit them and post them. So hopefully by the time this episode is up, those will be up as well.
I'm actually like, I prefer you do it that way because I always get nervous if you post stuff while I'm actively out of town.
Oh, I specifically try not to.
Yeah. So I appreciate
no. I did post on my Instagram story, but I specifically was like visiting my bestie and her baby chameleons, even though I was technically pet sitting.
It's fine.
Because I like wanted to post it that day. I was like, but I don't want everybody to know she's gone right now.
Yeah, thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah.
So sometimes we're under the radar like that.
But this is your first time pet sitting
the babies
with like both clutches with like 30 of them. So how's that?
No, it was great. Honestly, it was really cool to just get to see them all. And it's so funny because the two clutches are so drastically different in size. Like I did attempt to try to hold some of the babies and they flung themselves to the ground.
Oh no.
So I did not try. They definitely take after their father.
Did you? That's too funny. Was it the little ones?
Yes.
Oh really?
They flung themselves to the floor.
This is what I tell people. This is what I did, a update video. I'm trying to do like one a month on my YouTube channel just because like things are happening so quickly. And I told my editor, because I was holding one and it literally just kept jumping off. And I was like, you cannot keep this clip in here.
Yeah.
Because people are going to think I'm abusing them.
Yeah.
But truly, it's like a fight or flight thing. And they are thinking that the threat in front of them, aka us, right, is worse than whatever fate could
is
be
on the
waiting
floor
for them
below
at the bottom. And truly, a healthy chameleon is meant to like take a fall.
For sure.
Like you'll see wild documentaries and it'll be like two males fighting and then one will just like fling themselves off and just like jump to the floor.
Right.
And they're up in like the trees, you know?
Treetops, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but it can be very jarring and startling for someone who's unfamiliar with chameleon behavior, because you're like, chameleons don't jump. I'm like, whoa,
they do. In all honesty, it is weird for me because my only chameleon experience, like personal chameleon experience with Barney, he would, when he was really young, he would fling himself like at my hand or at me, and like he would just kind of like smack my hand or smack
more
my
like
arm.
A defense thing.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily a strike, but it was like a back off vibe. He never one time jumped, never one time flung himself to the floor, never one time jumped.
Venus did a lot.
It's so crazy to me because I just never experienced that. So like I know it's typical chameleon behavior. It's just weird for me because I personally did not have a chameleon that did that. So it really, like, I literally, all I did in the baby's defense, my nails are crazy right now, so I did try to put my little finger there. I did try with a stick and they didn't fling themselves at the stick, but I just, at that point I was like, it's fine, I'm just not going to deal with it, so it's whatever. But they're so cute.
Oh yeah,
they're so cute. And the big ones are starting to look so adult-like. It's freaking me out.
Now they look like miniature chameleons.
Yes.
Versus the babies kind of look like aliens.
Yes, the babies look like aliens, but I feel like once they hit that, like, how old is the first clutch?
3 months.
So I feel like once they hit about the, like, 2.5 month mark-ish is when they start to really, really look.
Because their eyes aren't taking over. They're like entire little peanut heads. Yeah.
Because that's the thing with the babies is their whole head is their eyes. So they just look funky until they grow into their head.
Yeah.
Like.
The first baby of the second clutch just shed today.
Oh, wow.
So that's like an exciting milestone.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
It was fun though. I went over there and Logan was with me one time and then.
Oh, I know. Because my camera was like person in the front and all I could see was a male body. And I was like, what? And I looked closer and I was like, that looks like Logan. And then contextually I knew you were over there. And so I was like, oh, okay.
We were on our way to the farmer's market and I made him stop while I was there. So.
Did you know you left my house unlocked? Oops. Because I get home and I go to unlock it and it's already unlocked.
I am so sorry.
So like,
are you serious?
Yeah. It's fine though.
I can't believe you didn't tell me before we were recording. I feel so bad.
No, it's literally fine. But me and we'll just call him the boyfriend, right? Get to my place and he's like walking around and I'm immediately like, is there an intruder in my home? So I'm like looking in all the closets behind the shower curtain because I was like, what if someone's waiting for, I don't know, because I
feel so terrible. I am literally so sorry. I had no idea.
Oh, I know. That's why it's like, it's whatever. And I live in a very safe neighborhood. However, I go to unlock my door.
Also, guys, it's literally been like 4 days since that happened. So I cannot believe you didn't tell me this.
It's not a big deal. Like,
no, but I feel terrible.
Truly. If there was an intruder in my home and I coincidentally got like murdered or something, then you might feel bad, but it's really...
I mean, I feel bad regardless. Okay. Oh my
really
gosh.
Not. But I was like, that's weird. Walked right in. No, I live in a very safe neighborhood.
Your neighborhood is incredibly safe, but
it's all good.
You also like know most of your neighbors. Yeah. Like it's very fine. But like, I'm so sorry.
Maybe you triple check.
Yep. Yep. It's probably because Logan was with me
that's what I'm saying.
I fully got distracted. That's 100% what it was. So he's not allowed to come anymore.
But I was like, why is there a man?
I'm so sorry.
But I know Logan, so I was like, that looks a lot like Logan.
For sure, Logan.
So it's not a big deal.
Oh my gosh.
And also just to give an update, because we share both the good and the bad, one of the babies did pass while you were watching them.
Yes.
Now, to set the scene a little bit, like, when did I leave? So I left Thursday. You checked on them Friday, Saturday. On Monday, I was like, I don't know.
It's not looking great.
The baby was much smaller. It was skinnier. Its eyes were starting to close. Like, so I just like, I'm always rooting for them. But like, I just was like,
you can kind of tell. Yeah.
Yeah. So I gave you a heads up because I was like,
you did.
Just in case.
Yeah. So very much before I filmed anything, I triple checked that. And unfortunately, they were gone. So that was very, very sad.
Yeah.
I didn't quite know how to handle. I mean, I knew what to do because you like told me what to do, but it was very sad.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. It wasn't a good feeling.
No.
So.
And people can tell you all the time, like, it's not your fault. This is why they have so many. Yeah. And like, this is part of the process and whatever. But like, it's still a baby and it's still a loss. And even if they lived longer than they would have in the wild, and knowing that like these babies are living like so many of them are surviving that wouldn't if they were in the wild or whatever. But like it's still really hard, especially when you're dealing with like such a large quantity of babies. I don't know if it's better or worse if you're dealing with species that only have like
a couple,
2 at a time or something. You know, like maybe their odds of surviving are higher. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I'd be curious to know that, but. Yeah, no, but I mean, honestly, because I had the heads up, I pretty much went into it being like, I'm probably going to see this. So I was very well prepared.
Yeah.
I knew how to handle it. I knew what to do. I knew like the situation, which felt good. So
far it's the only loss of this clutch that has hatched.
Which is great.
And I don't have any others that are like concerning right now, but it's really not until they get past that 3-month mark that like truly anything can happen between now and then, and all you can do is give them the best chance possible. But
that was the sad part.
Yeah,
for sure. But
okay, coming back from
anyway,
moving to the next topic.
So sad.
There's no easy way to talk about that.
No, there's really not. I mean, it happens.
I did want to be like very transparent.
No, and I appreciate that because otherwise I would have walked in and it would have been very uncomfortable because when I found the baby, they very much were on the bottom of the enclosure, but they were kind of hidden by some leaves. So like I could have accidentally like not even known if I didn't know which baby to look for, what the situation was like. So anyway. You prepared me correctly. It's all fine.
Yeah.
So anyway, everyone's been asking Pangea to make their PVC enclosures in even bigger sizes, and they have delivered.
Their new high-quality PVC enclosures are not only bigger at 22 by 17 by 36 inches, but they also feature easier assembly, better ventilation, and they're perfectly sized to fit side by side on your metal shelving units.
I can't wait to try these enclosures out for my new Caledonian geckos. They are perfect for your arboreal geckos, frogs, snakes, and even more. Check them out at PangeaReptile.com. Okay, Neptune, what are your top 2 feeder bugs for all your critters?
Dubious for protein and black soldier fly larvae for lots of calcium.
Simpton offers a wide variety of insects like silkworms, dubia roaches, waxworms, and our favorites, black soldier fly larvae.
I've also heard the entomologists at Simpton have customized the diet of their black soldier fly larvae to maximize their calcium content, so there's no need to dust them with calcium.
So if you're interested in trying them out, use code THEWILDTYPE at SimptonBSF.com for 15% off your order. By now you've heard us talk all about Scratches, the social app that helps exotic pet owners like us find their people.
You can add photos of you and all your scaly babies, set your filter to reptiles, and start scrolling through your local pet parents who get it. Think of Scratches as your way of avoiding the ever-looming "so do you have any pets?" question. Whether you're looking for friendship, romance, or someone who can pet sit your critters, your community is just a new match away.
Download Scratches today and start connecting with reptile keepers in your area. Available on iOS and Android. Moving along, today we are talking about enclosures.
Yay!
Which is kind of funny because I feel like we talk about enclosures all the time.
Yes.
But we're just getting a little bit more granular.
In detail.
Yeah. Because there's a million different enclosures that like, and I feel like especially having been in the hobby as long as I have, like I've seen so many different types of enclosures, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a wide variety, and it's kind of how do you decide, which one do you choose? Which one do you figure out?
And it's
all so variable.
Yeah. It's dependent on your species. It's dependent on your environment.
Yeah.
And like the care that you're going to provide. So like, first things first, when you're evaluating an enclosure, like obviously you're going to do your research on the species, right? You're going to learn what temperatures, what humidity, and what the general recommendation is. But I think what a lot of people miss is like, what are the temperatures and humidity in your home?
Yes.
Because that's drastically going to impact the materials of, like, yes, you're like measuring, okay, can it fit there, but like, do you use a screen or a PVC or a glass? Like all those things could make a big difference. And if you don't know what the natural humidity is, or people a lot of times are like, oh, I live somewhere super, super cold, so like I'm going to get this. I'm like, but your home's like 70.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't really matter what the temperature is outside, right? So just something to keep in mind as you're evaluating is like,
what is your personal room temperature and humidity?
Yeah. And if you already have like a bunch of, reptiles that do really, really like warm temperatures, then maybe your ambient temperature in your reptile
might be a little
room,
warmer. Yes. Mine usually is. Mine's usually like a degree or so higher than it is elsewhere.
So just be mindful of like where you're putting it and like the parameters as you're kind of going into this thought process.
Absolutely. 100%. So like you said, the species in the care is really going to like define everything.
Sorry, whacked your hand.
Only the YouTube people will see that. But so I guess the first kind of order of business when talking about enclosures is the material, right? So there's PVC.
Yep.
There's glass.
Yep.
There's screen. Are those really the only ones
I throw wood in there.
Oh, you're right. So like melamine is a big one, and just any kind of wood. But I think melamine's the most common.
We'll also do like furniture, right? And they'll like DIY that into a reptile enclosure. And that's like wood.
Yes. 100%.
So I would say that's
talking about wood, because I feel like a lot of reptile enclosures started with wood, right?
Makes sense.
Like
that's what we had available.
That's what we had available decades and decades ago. People would just kind of build their own. They're like, all right, well, I need a box to keep this animal in. What kind of box do I build? What do I have? Wood. So wood can be a good material, but if it's for a species that needs a lot of high humidity, it's not great, because that wood is going to warp and it's going to disintegrate, and it's eventually going, especially if you definitely can't do bioactive in a wood enclosure unless you have sealed that thing off.
Which you would have to seal regardless.
Anything.
Because there's going to be some level of moisture, but wood can be great for DIY situations. It can be very cost effective too if you're trying to build your own enclosure versus having the more expensive materials. Funny enough, Cages, one of our sponsors, Cages with a K, by the way. Yes. They just posted on Instagram like pros and cons of PVC enclosures versus wood enclosures.
Oh, love that.
So this is like very, very timely, but it's not often that you see wood enclosures. And I think they're just because of what you're saying, right? There's like better materials that are going to be better with the moisture, temperature regulation, humidity, containment, I guess.
Retaining humidity.
There you go.
There it is.
Yes. Like all those different factors. Yeah. Glass, I say, would probably be like the next thing we saw in like kind of the reptile hobby, like going from wood to glass. And that makes sense because you have the aquarium hobby sitting right next door to the reptile hobby.
Sometimes in the same building.
Literally. Yeah. And so a lot of people were taking these glass aquariums and then sticking reptiles in there.
That was my first reptile enclosure.
Which, like, if it's a terrestrial species, right, like, then, like, you
can get away with it,
budget,
but it's not ideal, because an aquarium is just a throw that we've said this before, but we'll say it again. We'll always keep saying it, but aquariums can work, but they have no airflow because they are not meant to hold anything that breathes air, right?
Correct.
It's meant to hold water. So you're essentially putting an animal into an enclosure that has no airflow except for from the top, which is not ideal.
Now, it gets worse, because that's definitely not ideal, for arboreal species.
Yes.
Right? Because then you're giving them, a max of like a foot or two in height, and there's no temperature gradients or humidity gradients, and then you're like just sticking these heat lamps in these very small things with little to no air flow, then arboreal species tend to have higher humidity requirements. So then you're misting and spraying down these enclosures, so the humidity is high, the heat is high, and there's just limited airflow,
trapping it all in there.
Yes, so it's just like a really bad situation. Not to mention not a lot of climbing opportunities, places to hide, you name it, it's there. So we have then shifted away from aquariums, but we were sticking with glass
because glass is a great material, right? It's not permeable, so you can't get anything through it. The humidity isn't going to affect it or warp it, and when I say warp, when wood warps, it kind of like
bows a little bit.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. It bows in the middle.
Yeah, it's structurally sound. It's not going to be swayed by temperatures,
humidity,
water,
or anything.
Yeah.
Nothing can get through it. So glass is a great system in that regard, but it also can have issues with airflow depending on the type of enclosures. Usually, like nowadays, most of our enclosures, even glass, have like proper filter.
Yes.
Is filter the right? Yes.
Filtration?
Vent. That's the word I was looking for.
Ventilation.
They have proper vents, right? So so now we've allowed for airflow because we're like, okay, this isn't enclosed water. This isn't an aquarium. We need airflow. So they've allowed more airflow in there, but glass does have its caveats as well. And one of the caveats for me personally, specifically with snakes, is that glass can, not just snakes, geckos, anything like that, reptiles can have a hard time feeling safe and secure in something that is completely see-through, right? Like they need a little bit more of either clutter or anything like that. But having those sides in the back that isn't see-through is usually beneficial to helping them feel more secure.
And not to say there's not workarounds for glass,
100%.
right? Like I know you love a good vinyl.
Love a vinyl
you do,
DIY.
Like all black on yours. I love a printed background
so
for
cute.
more naturalistic. Some cons of glass: weighs 1,000,000 pounds.
It's so heavy, guys. And it's the same with wood enclosures. We forgot to mention that con too.
Well, I would argue glass is
way heavier. 100%.
They crack. Right? Like
they're
the amount
very
of
easily
bottoms
breakable
that have like cracked, or you're moving with them. Like if you're anticipating you're in just a chapter of your life where like you're not in your forever home, or you're not even going to be there. Like you're like, yeah, I'm in college, I'm going to move. Or like you're in that chapter of your life where like you're just renting, whatever. You know you're going to have to move that.
Yeah.
And
speaking from personal experience, movers will not put those enclosures you have to have them completely empty for them to move them on their truck.
Yeah, no. Pluto's 1836 glass skyscraper went in the back of my in my car because like they wouldn't move it.
In my experience, if you're moving with any type of enclosures, they will move, if it's glass specifically, they will move it for you, but they will not put it on their truck unless it is completely empty with nothing inside it. And those of us who build DIY backgrounds, those of us who, have built a perfect...
It was like spray foamed all in there, like you're not taking that out.
And that's how all of mine were. So I was like, all right, we'll just put them in my car, I guess.
No, they weigh 1,000,000 pounds. They break...
super easily.
I wouldn't say super easily, but easily they are enough. Breakable.
It's a risk.
Like,
it's just a risk.
It's glass.
Yeah.
Point
it's
taken,
also like, I'll never forget my dad is the type of dad that has told me since I was first moving to different places in college. Like he's always like, well, I'm always going to move you. Like blah, blah, blah. Like he's that guy. He doesn't want me paying extra money for movers when I have him and my brother. Right. Like that's just how my dad has always operated. I will never forget the time that my dad looked at me and said, we are not doing this again. And it was because of the reptile enclosures.
Oh yeah, because they weigh 1,000,000 pounds.
Yes.
Also, cost. Glass is not cheap.
No.
It's not a cheap material. It's not cheap to build. It's not cheap to buy. So like we as the consumers eat that cost partly, because it's an expensive thing. I think too, while we're on the topic of like aquariums, I know we want to talk about like top opening versus front opening.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like this is an opportune time because aquariums naturally are going to be top opening because that's how you're dealing with. You can't have a front opening aquarium, obviously.
And again, speaking from experience, I have done the conversion kits, right? So the conversion kits are where you take a, horizontal tank aquarium, flip it on its side, and basically put a door with vents on the front so that the top, sides, and back and bottom are all glass, so including the top. That means that you can't put UVB on the top.
Nope.
That means that it's still not getting airflow from the top. It's only getting it from the front, which can be a concern. And the main thing for me was UVB and overhead heat could not pass through the top, which was a huge problem for me.
And the reason she's saying that, in case no one knows, like glass, like UVB cannot penetrate through the glass.
Neither can proper heat either. So none of those things could penetrate through the glass. Thank you for clarifying. But I have tried the conversion kits. I liked them for a little while, but personally, I think the conversion kits like that work best for smaller species like dart frogs or like newts or things like that. I've seen them work for those kind of things, but for the geckos, I couldn't, the airflow was a problem. Some of them collected too much humidity, so it was inconsistent. Yeah. None of it was, so you can try conversion kits, but speaking as someone who's did it with like 4 different enclosures, it just didn't work out long term.
Yeah, and the top opening can also be tricky, even if you're doing something that's horizontal versus arboreal. Yes. Reaching from above is just going to put your reptile in a naturally defensive
and fight or flight
posture
immediately,
because they're used to predators coming from above versus front opening. Yep. I also think it can be a little easier for like snakes and stuff to go up versus out. So just like definitely prioritizing the front opening versus the...
And here's the thing, like I currently have 2 of my animals in a top opening enclosure, right? And it's mainly while they're growing out and while I'm working on their bigger enclosures. So like they've been in them for a while and they work. It's okay. Is it ideal? No. Is that their permanent enclosure?
No. You're providing them with like UVB lights and stuff. So then you have to like take the lights off.
It's such a pain.
And then open the enclosure and then do whatever it is you're doing. Then put it back, and then...
Not only is it inconvenient for you, it can possibly lead to like them feeling a little bit unsafe or, insecure or whatever. The only one that I've really noticed it with is Taz. He's just more skittish, which totally makes sense. Nessie seems fine. She doesn't seem stressed by it at all. Those are my only 2 in those. But like I said, it's fine for now. It's fine for a temporary thing. It's just not something that I personally want forever for them. And, so it's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it is just something to note. It can definitely not be as good.
2 more things to mention on glass. 1, it can be hard to get larger enclosures in glass. Yes. 1, because it's expensive, and 2, you're having to like ship something of that size.
And the bigger it is, the more likely it's going to break.
Right. So you're just not going to find you're not going to find a 2x4
I was going to say
of a glass enclosure.
To my knowledge, there are no shippable enclosures that are all glass that are larger than 3 feet.
Yeah.
Like that's just
what I've seen.
That's just not.
So you're limited.
You're very limited
on sizing, but glass can be really good at retaining heat and humidity. Yes. So people who do in their home, but not wherever the temperature's outside. But if you're like keeping your reptiles in the basement and you don't have like a great heating system down there, or it's like super, super dry where you are and you're wanting to keep species that require higher humidity, then like glass could be a fantastic option. But PVC can also achieve
such a good heat retainer.
Very similar results, and without a lot of the cons of the glass enclosure.
It's lightweight.
Lighter. It's going to be cheaper to produce and to buy. Yep. And that means you can do much larger sizes. Yes. So we've seen this transition. I would say that's the current trend in the reptile hobby.
I would say for the last 3 to 4 years, that has really been the push is PVC. But I do want to also say there is different types of PVC enclosures, right? So I have 2 different types. So there are the kind that you see, I would say most often, which are the types where you put together the metal pieces and slide the thin PVC down, and the PVC is the sides, but the enclosure is essentially a metal frame with PVC sides, right? And that is one of, I would say, the top enclosures, especially right now and for the last few years. And the reason being is they are easy to ship. They're easy to put together.
Because you can ship them flat.
Yes.
Yep.
So they don't ship put together, which creates, it's less risk for the company that you're buying them from, because they don't have to risk it breaking. They don't
cheaper to ship as
well.
It's
way cheaper to ship because it's a smaller, more compact thing. Like it just has a lot of benefits, and those PVC enclosures are incredibly lightweight. Like I could throw that thing around, okay? And I do not have great upper body strength. So like,
oh, I know. We had to carry your heavy glass enclosures up your stairs.
And you have impeccable upper arm strength.
I do arm day, okay?
Okay,
and you're like,
I do not.
need to take a break. And I'm like, okay. That was when you were in your town home.
Yeah. Oh,
lots of stairs.
Lots of stairs. Steep stairs.
So if she can lift it, you know it's good.
Truly. So the lightweight PVC is one of my favorites because it is the cheapest way to get a really good size enclosure.
Yep.
It looks good. They all look really uniform.
You already have the privacy of the size.
You don't have to vinyl it, nothing. It's already set up like that. It is a little bit of a hassle to put together, but it's fairly easy, you know? So I would say there's a ton of upsides to that. I would say for anybody new in the hobby, that's 100% what I would recommend. They're not super expensive. I mean, they're expensive, but they're cheaper comparatively, they are cheap. They are cheap. And so that is great. However, there is also heavy duty PVC, right? And so I have a couple of those, and those were custom built locally before that. And that was, like we said, there's been this transition from, and we've been in the hobby long enough to witness it.
What are those, like 5 years old?
Those enclosures? Honestly, I think they're 6 years old because I think I got them in 2019. I think I got them right before the pandemic.
Okay. So
there was kind of this thing where it was like all glass for the most part. Then we started seeing PVC, but we started seeing heavy duty PVC.
Right.
And it's less weight than the glass, and it's still, you know, got all the pros of everything, but it's just heavier duty, and it's physically heavier, but it's also less flimsy, right? So I really like those for different reasons, but I like them both kind of equally for different reasons, right?
Yeah, and those aren't nearly as accessible.
No, like, they're far less common.
You're going to have to go through someone who does like a custom build. Yes. It's not going to be something that comes disassembled that you then have to, because you're not shipping it already built out like that.
Right.
It makes sense though, because if there's the PVC that are sliding into the slats, and like there is going to have to be a little bit of wiggle room for them to be able to fit in there, versus if it's already constructed in that piece. But yeah, PVC is fantastic. There's so many different ones out there. There's also hybrid enclosures. We've been seeing that a lot with arboreal species where they do need the airflow. Yep. So the screen top, potentially a screen front, and then PVC
on the sides, which is super cool.
Which is what I prefer, because I don't like the glass fronts. And glass is just so hard to clean, right? That's the other thing. Like, especially if you're misting, because you have watermarks everywhere and everything else. So like Luna, my female Christopher, she's in a Dragon Strain hybrid. Those are amazing. And those are like the PVC with the screen. But like Dragon Strain was one of the first, because it's exclusively a chameleon. Chameleon caging company, and they've been doing these for years. And when PVC was coming out, they were prioritizing the longer enclosures, which makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense, because snakes, this is where I was going.
I know.
Snakes and geckos are going to be like some of the most popular species. So like if you're a business, then like that's what you're going to prioritize. Also, that's, I think, a little easier to figure out than a boreal, and you're like, how do I deal with the airflow this way? But now there's so many companies who are doing arboreal PVC enclosures with this screen
They've really figured it out. I mean, it's a pretty great situation now at this point. Like, truly, if you're getting into the hobby now or in the last couple of years, like you are lucky. Okay. You have not had to be in the trenches, and you have so many options.
Those conversion kits that she did were a pain.
They were such a pain, guys. Are you looking for a new enclosure for one of your reptile babies? Be sure to check out Cages with a K. Each enclosure is made to order by their team in Minnesota, which means they can even do custom builds.
The enclosures are made from high-quality PVC with tempered glass doors, allowing for superior heat and humidity retention. They offer screen tops, side vents, and belly heat customization options to ensure the ideal setup for any environment.
So whatever dream home you want built, Cages has you covered. Use code WILDTYPE50 to get $50 off any order over $300 at reptilecages.com.
Do you sell reptiles? Be sure to check out the Pomp Street app, a place where you can have your very own live auctions to help find your reptiles amazing homes in a community full of thousands of reptile lovers. To apply to be a seller, go to page.palmstreet.app/reptile.
They prioritize ethical breeding and trading practices, ensuring all reptiles on their platform come from responsible sources. Once approved, Palm Street's reptile team will guide you through every step. From setting up your reptile shop to going live for the first time, you'll get hands-on support to sell confidently, safely, and responsibly.
We're so excited to introduce the Reptile Girlies to our favorite reptile-friendly coffee and tea brand, Cold Blooded Caffeine. Our favorite thing about them is that they donate 5% of all their proceeds to wildlife conservation to ensure reptiles and amphibians have a place to call home in the wild, as well as in our homes.
And if you know me, you know I'm obsessed with herbal teas. So for any of our fellow tea lovers, they source some of the highest quality loose leaf teas in the world.
Cold Blooded Caffeine offers a wide variety of coffee like their Rainforest Blend, single origin options, and collaborations with some of the biggest names in the reptile world.
For 25% off your first order, use code WILDTYPE at coldbloodedcaffeine.com. And in all honesty, the heavy duty PVC ones, I love those, but it was through like this like small local the small local enclosure builder guy that's like 80 years old.
Because we went to the parking lot and like, yeah, it was did like this exchange of
crazy
enclosure.
And so like that was also like a hassle. Like there were so many issues with like enclosures back in the day, and now also, it's just so streamlined.
How do you mount lighting at the top, right? Like that wasn't something people had really a solution for, because if we were used to having screen tops, then you could just slap your lights on the top. But now if you have a PVC, because you're prioritizing that, then like are you sacrificing your lighting? And like how do you mount that?
And that was actually one of the reasons I wanted to mention the heavy duty PVC, is because while that is less common, the heavy duty PVC do not often come with screen tops, right? So the ones that are shipped out most often that we see that, you know, are the metal caging with the you know, thinner PVC. Those ones almost always, I've almost exclusively seen them with the screen tops. I'm sure that there's a customization option where you can make the top PVC too, but that's a big difference, because the heavy duty ones don't have screen tops, and so they just have the vents on the sides or the back or both. And so that also, depending on what type, if you have a screen top or a PVC top, that can also lead to differences in humidity and heat retainment, right?
Which goes back to the very first point we made of like, know what your species requires and know what your room is already sitting at.
Yes.
Because if you're already close to what your species requires, then you don't need to be locking in all this stuff. You can kind of just let the air flow, because it'll help regulate your temperatures already where they're at, which I think is a good transition into screen enclosures, because screen enclosures most often are used for chameleons. I get that, but there's other species who use them as well.
Abronias. I'm like, that's a type of lizard. That's anyway. There's lots of, that's the first one that popped into my head. But
there's other ones for sure. But like traditionally, like you hear chameleons.
It's mostly chameleons, but there are plenty. I mean, lots of people keep baby iguanas, you know, and those like stuff like that. There's all kinds.
And those are also ones you can DIY as well, or you can purchase them. But like we've also seen this transition in enclosures for chameleons, because previously the like cliche answer was like glass will kill your chameleon. Now, this was with the assumption, the caveat that we were using aquariums. An aquarium will absolutely kill your chameleon.
100%. Without a shadow of doubt, that is correct.
That is accurate.
Will kill
them. But it is
not
the glass material. It is what we were saying before of the way it's shaped, the lack of airflow, the lack of gradients, all these things. It is not set up for an arboreal species, especially a chameleon. So in that regard, yes. Now, if you actually have a proper glass enclosure that has a screen top, that is not an aquarium on its side, but truly like a screen top with airflow. Now, the tricky part with glass is that you typically cannot find it large enough, which is what I was saying before. Because people are like, can I use glass? I'm like, sure. Can you find one though that's 2 feet by 4 foot?
Because if you do, send me a link, because I'm confused.
No, not likely, right? So unless you're doing some like custom whatever thing.
Which, like, more power to you. I would love to see it,
Right. So
honestly.
I'm not saying no because of the glass material. It's just limited on what you have available.
Options, right.
Right. But if you live somewhere that's drier or colder, then like maybe a hybrid is a good option, where it has PVC on the sides and then a screen top that allows for that airflow. Now, if you're someone like me whose reptile room sits at 50% humidity, I'm keeping all species that are native to Madagascar, so they're going to be higher in humidity, and the temperature sits in the low 70s. I don't need this super PVC lockdown thing because like the room itself is very close to what it needs to be. Yeah. Throw a heat bulb, throw a couple misting sessions, UVB, you're good to go. So screen works very, very well. Yeah. People are like, oh, how do you keep the humidity in a screen enclosure and all this? But I'm like, you can wrap the sides just like you would for any other enclosure. And so like that's what I do. If nothing else, to keep the moisture from like hitting my walls and such. But screen enclosures can be...
They can be good options.
Fantastic.
It really just depends on your species.
Depends on the species, and it depends on the temperatures in your home. Yeah. For sure.
And humidity, obviously. But yes.
Yeah. And then just like the caveats of like attaching things in a screen enclosure versus a PVC versus a glass can also be tricky and nuances. But like there's tons of tutorials. I myself have a lot on screen enclosures because I know that can be...
You know way more about screen enclosures than I do, man.
This is why when we do like enclosure build competitions at like expos and they give us these like horizontal PVC things, I'm like, man, because I'm like, I would love to see a challenge where you have to build...
you would have everybody be...
a screen, like build a Repti Breeze and then like attach everything to... I'm like, I could do that with one hand time.
Oh, yeah. Back. Easily.
But anyways, I just wanted to call out screen enclosures because I think they can be fantastic options. And it can be a really great tool and asset, assuming that the room that you're reptile in is already close to whatever the species requires.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, okay, there's one last thing on enclosures that I want to touch on. Yes. And I specifically wrote this down in our note a while ago because it was something that I just like realized. But the difference in enclosure doors.
Okay.
Is very important to me.
You take this one.
I have a lot of opinions. That's fine. Specifically, it's mainly one thing. It is mainly for snakes. Okay? So you have several different types of doors on enclosures. I would say hinges and sliding are the two most common. So there's also the option of double doors. Some glass enclosures have the double doors, which is slightly different. And then there's also hinges that can hinge up or hinge down. I've seen it both ways on different types of enclosures.
What's your favorite?
Sliding doors. Always sliding. Forever. I will never get any other type of door.
And make your case. Why?
Because when I have Tarzan, who is getting increasingly more into his food and his feeding time and is getting a little more intimidating as we're getting bigger and we're getting a little bit more intense with our food, right? I don't want to open that door. I want to slide it open by like 3 inches, stick my tongs in there, and then pull it out and slide it shut. That is so much safer. It is so much smarter. It is so much more efficient. Here's my qualm with the sliding.
You let me know if this is a con for you or not. If something gets stuck in the track of the slider, like a piece of dirt or something, you know, and then it gets like...
I just blow that out real quick.
Because that doesn't really happen with the doors, like the opening doors. It doesn't get stuck in the little...
No, and that's super valid. But when I have an anaconda coming at my face, I don't care about it being... Because if I slide it enough,
and the noise
he can't get
it
through.
Makes of like...
I get it.
I take a squeaky hinge door over.
I get it. But as a snake girly...
I understand. I do appreciate your sliders when I come over and I'm misting because I just open it a crack and it goes and then...
Imagine if you were trying to feed Tarzan and you had to swing that thing wide open. I can't wait to get him in some sliding glass doors, man. Can't wait.
Well, let us know. Are you team slider or team opening doors? This is a hot topic.
Well, and I just... To go on the ones that hinge up or down real quick, like those also, I don't love the way it... Anyway, I have qualms.
No, I get it. Chameleon enclosures really only
come out. Yeah,
open
for sure.
On hinges.
But do all my snake girlies get this? Please let me know because it's something that I was feeding Tarzan recently, like his last feeding, and I was like, why am I doing this? I was like, this is stupid because Hazel's in sliding and Tarzan currently isn't. And I'm trying to get him into sliding. Cages is coming in. Cages with a K is coming in very clutch with that very soon.
Oh, yeah. I do want to give a shout out too. We have a discount code.
Oh, yeah.
With them. So, like, if you fast forward through the ads,
yeah,
valid, understand.
We get it. But
if you're looking for an enclosure, P&G just came out with their new arboreal ones. Cages has theirs. They have a discount code. We have a few other sponsors who have discount codes.
Pretty good discount codes.
For some coffee, for some bugs. So, just maybe on occasion.
If you've been hit and skip, we get it. But also...
Take advantage
because it is worthwhile.
Take advantage. They're pretty hefty discount codes too. So,
but I'm very excited for my cages enclosures because I'm very excited to get Tarzan into something that isn't going to terrify me every time I feed him.
We love that for you.
I know. I love him. He doesn't scare me, but his food mode makes me nervous.
Understandable. That's very valid. So, anyways, let us know if you're a slider or opening, or if you prefer your PVC, your screen, your wood.
What's your favorite glass, and why?
I'm sure some of you have started with one and then kind of switched to the other. Anyways, there's so many nuances, and that's why, the very beginning, it depends on your species, depends what you need. These are all assets. These are all tools. They all have their time and their place. Just stay away from the aquariums. That's all I can.
Stay away from the tanks, all right?
We've different podcast, different hobby.
We've moved past that, all right?
Don't need yet.
Well, do you think we have time for our last little one?
Yeah. Let's do it. I think it'll be quick.
Perfect. This is very quick. Now, if you grew up in the 90s, you might have been on some Cartoon Network.
Yep.
Which we love. So were you a Powerpuff Girl?
Did I watch them?
Yes.
1,000%.
Okay, yeah, same. We all did. So our question today is, which Powerpuff Girl would you be and why?
Everything nice. These are the ingredients. Yeah. So I have mixed feelings because as a kid, no question, I was Blossom.
Well, duh.
For obvious reasons.
Very obvious reasons.
As
our resident redhead.
And I grew up with 2 siblings. So, it was the 3 of us. And there was, you're also one of 3. So it's everyone is Powerpuff Girl. Yeah, right? And you're just 1, 2, 3. So I'm of course. And I'm the oldest. So I'm duh, I'm Blossom. However, in preparation for this episode, I did a BuzzFeed quiz of what Powerpuff Girl are you? And it gave me Bubbles.
I'm actually not surprised personality-wise. You're such a Bubbles.
And this is why I'm conflicted.
You're such a Bubbles.
I was like, I feel like I should be Blossom because I have red hair. No. But then I agree.
You are so Bubbles.
That's why I'm like.
You are so Bubbles.
So I'm like, well, which one? So I'm sticking with my answer of Blossom.
Yes.
Especially because Halloween, circa 8 years old, I want to say.
You should bring that back.
I was Blossom.
You should bring that back.
Okay, this also crossed my mind. I want to hear your answer first. But how fun would it be, because we have Halloween coming up, if we dressed up as Powerpuff Girls?
That'd be cute. It's
a contender.
That'd be
we
cute.
have not discussed this.
TBD, because I'm still figuring out my Halloween party theme, so stay tuned.
But for the pod.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
For our Halloween pod episode.
Ooh, stay tuned.
Because remember last year we totally slacked and didn't do costumes.
For sure dressing up this year.
So we have to so I'm that is a contender. Yes. Okay, what's your answer?
Okay, I am also a mix. Because growing up as a child, I was absolutely a Bubbles because also I was very, very blonde. Blonder than I am now as a child. So I was a very, very big Bubbles fan. Mm-hmm. I'm not a Bubbles.
No. Okay. No. What's your...
I'm a Buttercup.
Yep.
I don't want to be a Buttercup, but I am a Buttercup.
But the reality is, I think all of us are a little bit of all of them. And that's the beauty of it, right? Because they lean heavily into one personality trait. Because there are some days where I'm a Buttercup.
Oh, for sure. That's why I did write down, I said I'm a mix of Bubbles and Buttercup because I have my Bubbles moments, but 90% of the time I lean on the pessimism side, so I'm for sure Buttercup.
We should also do Harry Potter houses.
I have thoughts. I have thoughts and feelings.
That would be fun too. But yeah, short answer, I would go with Blossom with a dash of
hint of Bubbles.
Bubbles.
Yeah.
And what are you gonna go?
I think I'm more so realistically, I'm more so a negative Nancy, and I am more so of a Buttercup. But I like to aspire to be a Bubbles.
But Buttercup is not just a negative Nancy.
No, but she's also the one that will fight for her friends.
That's not she doesn't take for anyone.
No, she does not. And I absolutely never have, and I never will.
Also, can we just give an honorable mention for Mojo Jojo?
Duh.
I am Mojo Jojo.
That's Logan.
What a villain.
Also, I have to throw this out there because I got to bring it back to reality TV always. Last season of Love Island, the 3 girls who were like the breakout stars, right? There's always like a couple of people who were like the most famous from the season or whatever. The 3 girls, they had called themselves PPG the whole season, and the reason they called themselves PPG is because the 3 of them represented one of the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, cute.
And that was something that was like an inside joke amongst them. And so now the world refers to those 3 girls as PPG, which stands for Powerpuff Girls, which is very cute. So I had to throw that out there, and they each like represented one, and it was very cute.
Okay, one little side story, and then we can wrap this up. On that Halloween that I was Blossom, right? I had like the big eyes that they like, you know, there was a little mask you got to wear. Cute. And the little string had broken off. And so my mom was like hot gluing it and she burnt me with a hot glue gun.
Oh no.
On my face.
And I know she's listening to this.
So it's very memorable because obviously it hurt.
She remembers it.
Then we went to my dad's like office party and all the kids got to like trick or treat around the office.
Cute.
We were all like 90s kids. So of course there was another Powerpuff Girl.
Oh, how dare she.
And of course, everyone wants to be Blossom because she's like the best.
Cool.
So this girl had a wig. And I did not because I obviously
so yours was obviously cooler.
And I was like, nice
you won.
costume.
You won the costume.
Yeah. But a shout out to whoever that girl was who was Blossom also the same time.
Yes. We love it.
Same time I was. But yeah, that was just like a fun little
so
memory.
Fun.
But let us know also in the comments. We always love hearing from you guys.
Yeah.
If you're more of a Blossom, a Bubbles, or a Buttercup.
Or do you not care about Powerpuff Girls at all?
Also.
Also an option.
Yeah. Man, there's so many good episodes of Powerpuff Girls.
It's fabulous. It was a great show. I'm very grateful for the day and age that we grew up because we had the golden era of like
I agree.
Of like
cartoon
TV.
I agree.
And movies, honestly, all of it. So anyway, I think that wraps us up for
today.
It up.
Take it home.
Lots of great convos, but yeah, so give us a follow on all of the things. The Wild Type Podcast. You can check me out at Lyssa's Lizards everywhere.
You can check me out, Neptune and Chameleon. Get early access. Take advantage of all of our sponsors. Discounts if you want merch, like this cute sweater.
Check out our new merch.
That's always linked in there. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Bye, girlies.